Hi, this is Mary with Mountain Mamas. I am here today to talk about weaning, specifically weaning a toddler, and even more specifically, weaning a toddler from the ages of 12 months to 24 months. When I weaned mine, he was between 17 and 19 months. So that's kind of the age we're dealing with right now. So to make a long story short, what I'm going to tell you is replace and distract. You replace the nursing sessions with something else. It could be whole milk. It could be whole milk mixed with something to make it taste better. It could be a lovey. I'm going to be looking over here at my notes a couple times, so forgive me. It could be a snack. So whenever they come to you wanting milk, he wasn't saying much at that time, and he still doesn't say milk, but he had a sign. And whenever he did that, I knew that he wanted to nurse. So when we started the weaning process, I wasn't giving him whole milk yet, just because he was drinking so much breast milk throughout the day still. But I was trying to replace it with a snack. He loves those little applesauce pouches and fruit and veggie pouches, so I'd see if he wanted one of those, or Cheerios, or whatever little snack you can give. And if he didn't want one of those at first, I'd say, well, buddy, I need to wash the dishes or something like that, and see if that distracted him. And we tried to do, of course, no tears. I didn't want him crying and being hurt because I wasn't giving him milk. So if he started crying and I felt like he was emotionally in pain over this, then of course I was going to nurse him. But it got better and better. So, so that first week went great. We went from 10 to 12 nursing sessions a day down to 2 or 3 like that, really quick. So I knew he was ready. But then he got strep. So we had to just drop everything. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so he just wanted to nurse all the time. Nurse, passy, nurse, passy. It went back and forth. So after that, we got back on the weaning wagon, and it was very harder. It was very much more difficult after that. We went on vacation, and just some other things were going on, and it wasn't that quick. It was almost like he knew what was happening, and he remembered that he had gotten down to 2 or 3 times a day, and he was like, nope, we're not doing that again. So in my mind, my 2 things were replace and distract, always. But if the tears came and he was in some emotional distress, I would nurse him, and it really did work. It took maybe between 4 and 6 weeks for him really, or for me actually, to get the hang of how to do it, and for us to be completely weaned. So those are things you could replace it with. You could do whole milk, like I said. You could do lovey. You could do a snack. And the distraction piece of it is, at least for us, in the morning, the mid-morning, after breakfast nursing session was the most difficult to get rid of. It was the last one. So that was the one I worked the hardest to say, okay, I know you want milk right now, but I need to do dishes. I need to sweep the floor. And then after that, we'll get milk if you still want it. And I would always honor that. If I got done with my chores and he still was asking for milk, I would always nurse him. But eventually, we got down, and I did that every time. And if distractions don't work, I would replace. If replacing it didn't work, I would distract. And if neither worked, I would nurse. So we got down to that 1 session a day, and one day he just didn't, the distraction worked, and he didn't ever want it again that day. So the next day, he asked for milk. I distracted him, and he didn't ask for it the rest of the day again. And that was it. We were done. And I had set in my mind about 2 weeks from that day that we were going to be done. So that took me off guard and took me by surprise. And it still makes me want to cry just thinking about it, that I didn't know it was our last session when it was, and it was really sad. But it was good overall. He drinks whole milk now a lot during the day. He loves it. But my advice to you, if you are wanting to wean your toddler, is to just be patient. Give him or her time to do it on their schedule, plus, trying to fall into your schedule too. If you don't have to do it, you just wanting to, just give them a little bit more time maybe. But if you are on a schedule and you need to do it, say, in a month, then you really can do it. That's usually a good time frame, I believe. But don't go cold turkey. That's just my opinion. I just think it would be hard emotionally on the child, hard physically on you, hard emotionally on you. Because even after we were done, I still got clogged ducts in one side for about a week. So, but that's about it. Replace and distract. Replace and distract. That's what we did with weaning, and it worked beautifully. It took about 2 months though, with sickness, with vacation, with some things changing. It took 2 months. So we started at 17, ended at 19, and he's 21 months now, and he still asked for it for about 3 weeks after we weaned, but he hasn't asked for it for a while now, which is kind of sad. But and my advice to you also is to avoid being topless around them, because even now I was changing in front of him today, and he was just drawn to me, and I had to cover it very, very quickly. So try to avoid that until you think they're over the hump, probably. I would say maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months to not let them see you topless. But okay, well, that's about it. If anyone has any other suggestions other than those replace and distract, then please let me know. Weaning is very hard on the baby and the child. The baby and the mama. I think it was more hard on me though, to tell you the truth, because I cried for days after he was done, after he was weaned. But our breastfeeding journey was a hard, bumpy one, especially at first. But and it was hard to let it go. But overall, it's been wonderful, a wonderful transition. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. See you next time, where Mama's helping mamas.